All right, guys, welcome. So today's topic is, as I mentioned when we are getting started, is a time management review. I'm not going to go through all of the different time management techniques and tools in detail because most of you are across those. It's really more a review and then a discussion to find out what's working for you, what are you using, what else are you using that I'm not going to cover, and also areas that you could probably focus on and improve on. Okay, so as per normal, we'll go through the implementation, the training, then we'll talk about how to implement it, and then we'll review your fortnight projects you've got on and how we can progress your plan and what you might need some help with. All right, so as I said, today's topic is a bit of a review on time management and find out what's working for everyone and how we can improve. So just a quick review of the different tools and techniques. Now, most people on the call are already across all of these. Ben, I'm not sure if you are across all of these, but I'll go through them all and then we can have a discussion, an open discussion at the end. So the first one is what I call the time log. And this is where you just use a sheet once a day for 2 weeks to track where your time is going, because a lot of people aren't aware where they spend their time and how they can improve on that. So that's one technique as a reminder. The second one is this, what I call the skills value matrix. Now, this is one that I don't use as often. The time log I use with most people because I think it is a good way to just review 2 of your weeks to really understand where your time's going, what interruptions are happening, and so on. This one here, the skills value matrix, is taking all of the tasks that you should be doing every day, or at least, well, whether or not you're doing them, should be doing them, or whether you're doing them and you need to delegate them to someone. It's trying to work out, okay, look at all the tasks where you're spending your time and then mapping it out on this matrix based on what is the required skill level of that task and what is the value to the business. So obviously if it's low skill required and low value to the business, such as checking the PO box or whatever it might be, getting the milk for the office, then obviously you map that out there. You put all of these different tasks in these 9 boxes depending on value and skill required, and then you start delegating from this bottom left-hand corner. Okay, so I've got a separate video on that and a separate worksheet. So if you want to look at any of these, just reach out and let me know and I can send you the information separately. But as I said, this is really just a quick review of the different tools. The third one, which I obviously use all the time, which a lot of you are all across, is the default diary. Now, this is obviously not the whole default diary, it's just the top section, but it's effectively a plan for your week. You basically map out your week as if this is what you want your week to look like every week, ideally. So you will map out time for client follow-ups, for team meetings, for, if you want to chase debtors, if that's on your list, whatever's on your list. And obviously depends on your, who's in your team and what's on your plate and what's on theirs. But it's about working out a plan for the week, a set plan. You might have certain days you do quoting, certain days that you do follow-up, certain days you spend time on site and trying to stick to that. So that's the default diary. The next one is Stephen Covey's four quadrants. Now, I've got a separate video on this again, but this helps you understand that tasks are either high in urgency or low in urgency. That means they're either time critical or they're not. And on this side, tasks are either of high importance or low importance. So high importance tasks are helping you achieve your goals and what's important to you for your future business development and your own personal goals. And low importance are ones that aren't. So you may feel busy doing them, and they can fill up your day, but a lot of them are not important to you. So it could be things like sales reps popping in or the phone ringing and you get tied up on that on a call that's not important, for example. Okay, so that's just a reminder that it's important to understand Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants. It's out of his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And where I focus my attention with clients is really this quadrant 2. It's the stuff that's low urgency, but high importance. And these are things like educating yourself, having team meetings, doing strategic planning, building strategic relationships. No one's forcing you to do it right now, this minute, this week, because, there's a lot of other urgent things that need to be done, such as issues on site, customer inquiries, helping your team with issues. But it's this stuff over here, the quadrant 2 stuff, which is extremely important, but it's not as time critical. And that's where I want you to encourage you to free up time to spend more time on quadrant 2. So there are a few of the tools and techniques that I use with my clients. And then there are some other more regular things you do day to day, week to week. And this is how you manage your activity. The first thing I get people to do is really get everything out of your head and onto paper. Have a master to-do list that you can refer to. And then from there, you can work out what your daily to-do list is, or your list for the week. Okay. From there, what I do is I allocate my tasks and my weekly goals and activity items or to-do items into my calendar. So I'll actually map those into my calendar. So my calendar has all of my appointments in it, but it also has tasks that I've set for myself to do, and I've allocated, an hour here, 2 hours there, half an hour here, whatever it takes. And it's about really planning out your week. Obviously, delegating to others, that's important. A lot of people think, well, why should I give it to someone else? It's quicker for me to do. But it is about training other people and getting things off your plate and putting it onto theirs, especially if it's regular tasks. And last one I put on here is email management. It's I only put it on there because for a lot of people, email really rules their day or inundates their workload. So it is very critical to understand how to manage your email. And I've actually run a separate webinar on that. So once again, if you want any of this info, I can send you a link and you can watch that. But there is quite a bit to working out a good technique. And I think I've found one that works for me and works for other people to manage your inbox, file things away, so you don't miss things and you don't, others that you work with don't feel that you are, you slack at getting back to them. All right, so really that's my quick, very quick overview of time management techniques. So once again, the time log, skills value matrix, default diary, Stephen Covey's four quadrants, and then having a good way to manage your task list, delegating to others, managing email. Okay, so I'd like to just invite you guys to unmute yourself. Now, I don't think I can. Oh yeah, here we go. Ask all to unmute. So, so firstly, which of those have you used and that you found has helped you? Secondly, what else has worked for you that I may not have covered? And lastly, what are some areas that you feel you can improve on? So let's just cover off the first one. So who's used some of those tools?